Welcome everybody to our online program on addiction and recovery from the Sunshine Coast Health Centre up here in Powell River, BC. And we've been talking about identity. And last time we talked about Michael Steger's work, the idea that to live a fulfilling life, you had to have a good understanding of who you were as a person, what you believe, what your values were. And then based on that, then to have a purpose to fulfill, some mission, something based on like, what do you want to do in life? Right? Now, a couple other very famous psychologists were Richard Ryan and Edward Deci, and they're famous for this theory they developed called self-determination theory. And self-determination theory basically says that all human beings have three needs. The first need is a need to feel competent. The second need is they have to feel autonomy, that I'm the one making the decisions. I'm in charge of my life. I am the author of my life. And the third basic need is relatedness. And this is an interesting little wrinkle in there, because at the Sunshine Coast Health Centre, of course, we would make the argument that living a meaningful life and making sense of one's life is fundamental to what it means to be human. Richard Ryan and Edward Deci, on the other hand, suggest that if we can satisfy these three needs that human beings have for competence, autonomy, and relatedness, then the consequence that we would feel we were living this fulfilling, meaningful life. So a bit of a wrinkle there. But the ideas that they've come up with, that Ryan and Deci have come up with, if you think about them, they're very similar to a lot of ideas on identity. If I want to feel competent at what I do, if I want to feel autonomous, this in many ways are the answers to the questions, well, who am I? Right? That I got to feel that I'm living my life, that I am making decisions that will dictate the kind of life I live, and then feel competent enough to actually be able to make these decisions. Right? And their idea of relatedness is very much like the answer to that question we've talked about many times, is how do I fit in the world around me? How do I connect with people? How do I fit into the big picture of things? I mean, these kinds of ideas on relatedness, right? That I'm not alone in the universe. I have to interact with other people. So in that sense, although Ryan and Deci never talked, directly about, oh, this is all about identity. In fact, their theory is very much connected with this idea of, well, who am I and how do I fit in the world around me? And again, so a little different point of view, but both of these psychologists are touching on these fundamental components of identity, the answer to these questions. And as we've mentioned many times in the online program, addicts seem to struggle mightily with answering these questions. And they struggle mightily with the idea of autonomy, that I'm in charge, this is the life that I have chosen. Right? Because really, when you talk to them, they would say, well, no one ever wants to be an addict, right? And yet whatever they've done in their life, the decisions they've made, they've chosen to do this. So it's really kind of curious. And then the other thing that's quite well known with a lot of the fellows here is that they feel almost like they're isolated. They've either pushed people away, or they feel like they're different from other people. So they have great problems with relatedness. Right? And these two issues people run into problems. Don't have to be an addict to run into problems with these ones, by the way. But it seems to be very, very common. So recovery, again, if we were to follow Ryan and Deci's theory, the clients here would have to gain a sense of competence, gain a sense of autonomy, and gain a sense that they are intimately related to the world. Anyway, that's it for this session, and we'll be back next time with more information on identity.